In this video, we're going to be going over AI for everyone, and this is our part 7 video inside of this series. And specifically in this video, we're going to look at the workflow of a machine learning project. So let's get started with this video. So the primary focus of this video is how to build a speech recognition system. And some big examples of speech recognition systems are Alexa, Google Echo, and Siri. So this is what we're going to try to learn on how to make today. So we're going to go over some key steps of how you can make these speech recognition systems. So for step number 1 is to collect data. So what you have to do is grab a diverse group of people and make them record their voices. And this represents the process of gathering audio clips for the speech recognition system. And make sure when you're doing this, you have to collect a diverse group, as we said, such as American, African, Asian, European, and as many diverse people as you can get. So this is step number 1, which is to collect data. For step number 2, we need to train the model. So the second step is model training. So here machine learning algorithms are used to put an input to output mapping or A to B mapping. And we talked more about this in our part 2 video and also our part 3 video. So you can check those videos out if you want to learn more about A to B mapping. And then also the algorithm learns to associate specific audio with words. So what we're doing in step number 2 is we're training the model based on the data we gathered in step number 1. So now we're going to go over step number 3, which is to deploy the model. So the final step involves deploying the trained model into a real-world application, and in this case, which is a smart speaker. And this is followed by a period of testing and collecting new data, particularly if the initial deployment doesn't meet expectations. And example, if it's not recognizing the British accents, if it's trained on American accents. And step number 3 is where we just deploy the model and then we allow people to test it. And finally, for step number 4, it's the iteration and maintenance. So throughout the process, there's ongoing iteration and fine-tuning. And if the model doesn't perform as expected, then additional data is collected and then you update the model after that. So for example, let's just say in step number 3, a few accents weren't recognized, such as the British accent. So what we do in step number 4 is that we give the model a fine-tuning, so we give it to British people and then they record themselves and then we update the model after that. So now the model understands the new accent. So step number 4, we keep on doing it until the model is perfectly as we want it. And this summarizes step number 4, which is the iteration and maintenance process. And for a conclusion of this video, we summarized the workflow into 4 main steps. So step number 1 was to collect data for the model, and this refers to the different accents of different people. And step number 2 was to actually train the model based on the data we gathered. For step number 3, we deploy the model for people to test. And finally, for step number 4, we fine-tune the model and then we keep on updating it as we need. And finally, the same steps would also apply to other machine learning projects as well. And specifically today, we just talked about how to create the machine learning project for speech recognition. So thank you so much for watching from Try to Be Useful, and we'll see you guys in our next AI video.